Anytime I post a video on something like the 10 fastest HSW vehicles, or just vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online, there's always a lot of views, and people are always very attracted to videos like that, because it makes sense. You know, when I didn't know too much about GTA, I always wanted to see what the fastest cars were, just so I could drive faster than my friends and make it from point A to point B. But something that all of us always forget is that top speed is not always the most important value when it comes to making it from location to location. And this video is going to focus more on lap time than top speed. But don't worry, I'm still going to be having vehicles which are quick, but also cars which focus on a mix and balance of lap time and top speed to achieve the best results in every situation. And this here is a great example. We have the BR8, which is the fastest open wheel race car in the game, versus the Banshee, which has an HSW tune. The Banshee can go upwards of 156 miles per hour. The BR8 goes like 127. So the Banshee on paper is much faster, and it's still very good in the sports car category for lap time. But at the end of the day, look at how much slower the Banshee is making it through these corners here. It is literally just such a slower amount of time. And sure, if you were driving down the flat highway, then yes, the Banshee would definitely make it from point A to point B faster. But at the end of the day, most of the time when you're driving in GTA, it's through the city. It's through areas that involve a lot of traffic. And using vehicles which are faster and have more maneuverability and overall handling is the way to go. Something you might not have even mentioned or noticed until now is that the Banshee doesn't even have traffic on where the BR8 does. And I am still so far ahead in the BR8. So I think this really sells my point that lap time and speed are the most important things combined, and not just top speed. So with that being said, in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 10 fastest vehicles for lap time and top speed in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let's get straight into it. Funny enough, the fastest car in the game, the Bravado Banshee GTS, which can go upwards of 172 miles per hour, is the 10th best lap time sports car in the game. So it really does show you that while top speed is an important factor, lap time is also crucially important. Now in general, I'd still say the Banshee GTS is an absolutely amazing pickup. The vehicle itself isn't too expensive, and neither is the HSW conversion cost. And with the level of speed and maneuverability this vehicle features, being able to sit in the top 10 comfortably, it means that really there's nothing that this car struggles at. Now it doesn't have any special abilities like Amani Tech armor or weaponry, which, believe it or not, one of the vehicles does have weaponry, but it is still a great car. If you're trying to do HSW time trials or just make it across the map as quickly as possible, I can definitely say the Banshee GTS is a great shout. It probably won't be very surprising, but open wheel cars do feature some of the best lap time in the game. And the Ocelot R88 is definitely up there. This vehicle only achieves a top speed of 117 miles per hour, but because of the fact it's able to roll around a corner even when as sharp as this with literally no effort whatsoever, it allows this vehicle to have a lap time which can just achieve greatness. Not only that, but it's also very quick due to the speed boost. That's what a lot of people forget about open wheel cars, is that they do feature a speed boost. And with that boost, you can go upwards of 140 to 150 miles per hour. And it has regenerative braking, so every time you let go of the gas, the boost will then charge up, which then allows you to accelerate back up to speed, which is actually a really cool mechanic. In general, this is just a very good open wheel car, like all of them are. If we actually take a look at the best lap time vehicles, we have the R88, which I just showed, and then we also have the DR1 and the PR4. All of these are open wheel vehicles. And because they all feature the same level of basic lap time and pretty similar top speed, the PR4 goes 116.5, In general, I'm not going to really showcase the other open wheel cars. I think all of them are just about identical, and it really depends on which of the ones you want to look at, except the BR8, which we'll get into later in today's video. Next up, that brings us to the Penod La Course. This vehicle features a top speed of 142 miles per hour, which is a whopping 30 miles per hour slower in terms of top speed versus the Bravado Banshee GTS. But this vehicle has way better acceleration, we can see, especially because it's an electric vehicle. It just immediately gets up to that speed of 142. And not only is this car a really, really good acceleration curve, but it also has great levels of handling. It's all-wheel drive, and it has a very small wheelbase, meaning you can weave in and out of traffic and get around sharp corners with very little effort whatsoever. So the La Course is just an amazing vehicle for all of these things added together. I will say, though, I'm not the biggest fan of this vehicle's looks. I mean, I know there's probably some people out there which really like the design of this car, but I'm not one of them. I think it's average in the looks department, but it's one of the reasons why I don't drive this car too much. I just think there's better looking vehicles, and especially ones that perform a little better. But I think for the price tag and the performance, this is a great shout, and definitely something that you should consider. This is a vehicle that will probably surprise you, the Vigilante. Normally, I don't like to put too many rocket boosting vehicles into my tier lists for top speed or lap time, but the Vigilante is a little different because you're actually able to use it in missions, unlike every other rocket boosting vehicle in the game. If you take a look at a vehicle like the Toreador or the Scramjet, they are not allowed to be used in missions, but this car can be. So because of that, I consider it also able to be used in my top speed tier list. The Vigilante can achieve a top speed of around 156 miles per hour with the rocket boost, so it's a very, very quick car, and we can see that level of speed right here. I can just keep boosting along and keep staying at this insane level of speed. Not only is the Vigilante fast, but it just easily shrugs even some of the biggest SUVs out of its way with no problems, as we can see. And then the best part about the Vigilante is that because it has this rocket boost, let's say, for example, I have to slow down a lot to get around this corner here, right? Well, what's great is I can immediately then rocket boost right around the next corner and get all that speed, right? I'm going really slow right now, and boom, up to 156. And that's really what allows this vehicle to have such a good level of lap time, is that, sure, it might be large, it might not have the best handling, but because it is so good with that rocket boost, it means that once you have to roll around a corner, like this corner here, I got to slow down for, but now that I'm through the corner, I can just rocket boost right up to top speed again, and that is a big advantage for a vehicle like this, as we can see. And it also has homing missiles, which not many vehicles have, so that is also a big advantage. In general, I think the Vigilante is one of the best buys still in 2025 if you're trying to complete missions or just have a lot of fun. Up next, we have my favorite looking car in all of GTA Online, and that is the Coil Cyclone 2. I mean, how can you not like the design of this vehicle? It is so nice. And the Coil Cyclone 2 has performance going for it as well. It achieves a top speed of around 144 miles per hour, which is ridiculously fast for any car, let alone a supercar. And it's not just the top speed that's insane, it's the speed that it's able to achieve that top speed, right? So we're 0 right now. Watch how fast we go to 140. Here we go. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 120, 30, and that's it. We're up to 140. That's how fast we got there. That was like 4 seconds, and we got up to the top speed this vehicle features. And that right there, paired with the pretty good cornering capabilities, as we can see, is the main reason why this car is so good in the Supers category. It has the second best lap time in the Supers category. I know not everybody loves this car. I know Harmnun hates this car due to the handling. But at the end of the day, you just got to let go of the gas a little bit when rolling around a corner, and you are going to be completely fine. I mean, you can see here I let go of the gas, roll around the corner, no troubles whatsoever, and then we're back up to speed. Same here, right? We can just easily get through these corners, even a little bit of a fun drift there. But yeah, this car, it's great. It is absolutely fantastic. But we can see, at least for me, I don't have too much of a problem with the cornering. Yeah, you got to be careful. It's got so much power that occasionally you might have to worry about a little bit of slippage, but I don't have a problem with it. I think it handles well, and just the fact that it's able to accelerate so fast is so fun. In the number 3 position, we have the Ubermacht Naobi. Now, I won't lie, I'm not the biggest fan of the Naobi's looks. I think it's a cool looking vehicle, but it's not my daily driver because it is kind of goofy on the design. It's based off the BMW i8, which I know some people love, but it is a very polarizing car. But in terms of speed, and in terms of acceleration and handling, I cannot lie, this is an insane vehicle. The Naobi can go 160 miles per hour, making it the third fastest HSW in the game. But unlike the Gradiatali Stinger TT or the Banshee GTS, this vehicle is all-wheel drive and has great grip, which means that you don't have to worry about, having troubles rolling through corners, as we can see here. I mean, I can pretty heavily jerk on the steering, and you're not going to have to worry about spinning out at all. It has all of that, plus because it's all-wheel drive, it has insane levels of acceleration. So this really is the jack-of-all-trades HSW vehicle. If you're ever planning on doing HSW time trials, or you're just planning on going from point A to point B as fast as possible, whether it's on the highway, whether it's, through a windy road, or anything, that Naobi is probably going to be about as good as it gets, and that is why I always recommend people consider getting their hands on this vehicle. The only problem is it's expensive. It's $1.8 million for the car, another $1.6 million for the upgrade, plus all the upgrades on the vehicle itself, so you'll probably be looking close to $4+ million to get this vehicle fully kitted out. One of my favorite vehicles is the Weaponized Ignis. First of all, the Weaponized Ignis has semi-bulletproof glass, and that means it's going to take a pretty decent amount of fire before you're actually able to be shot inside of this vehicle. Not only does it have great bullet resistance, but it's also ridiculously fast, going at top speed of 145 miles per hour. And quite obviously, it has a remote minigun on the roof, which, well, it does quite a bit of damage, as we can see. So the Weaponized Ignis is fast, it has semi-bulletproof glass, and a remote minigun on the roof, allowing it to just kind of deal with everything. You can use it in missions, you can use it in free roam lobbies. We can see the speed here going exactly the 145 mile per hour limit this car goes. It's great. It's not as fast as the Coil Cyclone 2 in acceleration, but it definitely has better handling, which makes up for it. I mean, you can see the handling here. This car is able to turn on a dime. In fact, it's so good that Rockstar banned it from being able to be used in HSW time trials, which I think is a little lame, but it's whatever. Either way, the Weaponized Ignis, it's expensive. It's going to cost you $5 million to get your hands on, making it one of the most expensive cars in the game. And then you have to also get an HSW upgrade for another $500,000. So, like, this thing it's expensive. But it's fast. You can see here we're going so fast, and so fast I couldn't even see that car. Either way, great pickup. And that brings us to the number 1 position, the Benefactor BR8, which is the fastest of all lap times in the game. As I said, all of the open-wheel cars are basically the same, except for the BR8. This car can go 123 miles per hour, which is quite a bit quicker than the 116 and 117 miles per hour all the other open-wheel cars go. You still feature that insane level of handling, which we can see I'm using to roll around that corner, and you still feature the speed boost. So we can see right now the speedo says I'm going about 113. Watch how fast I go now. 113, 140, 150, 160 miles per hour with that speed boost activated. That is insane. I mean, look at this car's handling. This is ridiculous. There's not many cars which I can think of that get away with that. Now, that's my fault, but still, this car is, it's crazy. And because of that, it's definitely a purchase I would recommend to get your hands on. Funny enough, at the time of recording, you can actually get your hands on the BR8 on sale, but it is normally $3.4 million, so that is something you have to keep in mind. Either way, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but I can tell you for a fact that when it comes to lap time, it is an important value, and you will definitely notice it affecting you when playing GTA. My recommendation is to get your hands on the Naobi. I think the Naobi really checks off every single box. If you're going for just the most, luxurious lap time ever, then the BR8 is probably the way to go, but it really depends on what you're looking for as a player. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!